to OCupid hotline. Please leave your message after the beep.
Hi, this is Elaine.
And Robert.
And this is our personal experience on relationships.
Hello, Miss Elaine.
Hi, Robert.
How you doing today?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm okay. You want to get closer to the mic?
Okay.
You get pissed off every time I do that.
All right.
Tonight is a very special night.
We have the lovely Tamera here. Hi, Tamera.
Hi. How are you? I'm good. How are you guys?
We're good. We're happy to have you here tonight.
Very happy.
Thank you so much.
Tamera, can you please let us know a little bit about what you do and all the things that you do, because you have a long list of things that you do that's really good, and we want to be able to capture all that.
Oh, yes. My name is Tamera Rodriguez-Smith. I am a domestic violence survivor for a couple years now. I do everything. My organization is called Imableessebabe, and what I do is I give to domestic violence women and children. I give out toys. I do turkey drives. I do makeovers. I give clothes. I give books, coats, anything that women need and anything that children need. I'm there.
That's amazing.
Thank you. Not only that, I am a thriving entrepreneur. I have two children, two wonderful children, and I'm just on a move for women's empowerment and trying to help women, help people in general, because there are men that are domestic violence survivors as well. But it's so many women to where it's ridiculous, and it has taken over. And in Southern California, where I live, I try to, like I said, go give water, go give food, whatever I can, I'm there.
Thank you so much, Tamera.
Oh, that's perfect. This is not only a survivor story, but a success story as well.
Yes.
We have a successful entrepreneur here who actually spend her time helping everybody in need, especially those survivors, those people who need to push forward. Because some people feel that once they step out of there, there's no way to go. They're just going to be stuck in one place. But knowing that there's somebody else that have done it and are able to and is able to move forward and continue to grow and become a better human being by helping others and helping yourself as well to grow, that give them that little push that they might need to continue to do the right thing and continue to pursue whatever they need to pursue.
Yeah, and not only that, some females and families, they have to start from zero. They have nothing, and you're providing toys and food and clothes. That's great. It gives them some kind of hope that they could, we could start over, and it's going to be okay. Thank you so much for doing that.
Oh, no. Like I said, I know what it's like as being a survivor. You don't have the resources. And it's crazy because 1 in 5 women who are survivors, they're homeless. I mean, once you leave a situation, it's like, what can you do? You left with the clothes on your back. Your kids are there too. And it's like 9 times out of 10, you have to go to a shelter. And you don't have food. And then it takes so long once you get into a shelter to get food stamps, to get Section 8, to do what you need to do to provide for your child. So, right now I have a bill that I want to actually give to our governor, which I've been working with our local state and assembly and legislature to put some laws in effect to where when you do leave a situation that you have that safe haven, to where you're not in a shelter and you're scared, because you're going to have yourself and you're going to have your kids. So I'm trying to get a law passed right now to add on what they have, because what they have now, it just is not effective for real human beings.
That's amazing.
We
need to make that happen. And I hope that more people join you in pushing that law.
And hopefully by OCupid, we're able to reach people also to help you push to that, to where California needs to get. And not only California, every state in the United States needs to do the same thing.
Every state needs to get on board with this because, for me, it's crazy because you have to have a plan. When you're a victim and you are in a domestic violence situation, you have to have some type of plan because it's not going to get better. A lot of people stay because they think they can change the person or it gets better, or, they can't do any better because they don't have the resources. They don't have the money, and they stay for the kids. And people always say, well, why did you stay? You're not in that situation. You don't know why the person stayed. So, I get that all the time. It's like, why did you stay? I stayed because I needed to. I couldn't survive. You know what I mean? Well, I thought I couldn't on my own. I needed those financial resources.
That it is hard, and a lot of people don't understand. So you won't understand until you're living it. You're living it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Once
you're walking those shoes. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So just to break a little bit of the tension, we want to start, with some fun questions. So one of the questions are one thing you feel you have accomplished.
Bettering myself. I've accomplished bettering myself for my family, for my community, for my children. I've accomplished being an entrepreneur. I have my lash line coming out actually November the 7th. It's called Those Gorgeous Lashes. So I've accomplished a lot. I've accomplished, to me, just helping people. That's my biggest accomplishment because I want to help folks. I want to be bigger than what I am. I want everybody to know that I'm here to help you.
That's great.
Oh, that is freaking great.
You're giving a lot of females hope that, look all that you're doing,
Yeah.
that is possible. Yeah. One thing that you are most proud of.
The one thing that I'm proud of is leaving. Because if I would have stayed, I wouldn't be the person that I am now. I mean, I have done nothing but try to uplift and motivate women because I know how it is. Everything that I've went through and everything that I post on my Instagram and stuff, I've been through those things. And I know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. If it happened for me, it can happen for anybody.
So you kind of discovered the Tamera inside of you, that you had all this power in you. That's great. That's amazing.
Find a real purpose.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And one last one before we get into it. If you were to write up a bucket list, what would be the first thing you will write?
That I will go to the highest mountain and just scream as loud as I could that I made it, that I'm alive. That's like one of the things on my bucket list. The next thing on my bucket list is just take people who are disadvantaged and don't have, like on a cruise, like really show them like, okay, this is what I want to do for you guys, because in this life, it's not about you. I don't know why people don't get that, correct. It's not about you. It's about helping. It's about giving. It's about not always receiving. It's about giving. Because if you have a giving heart, you don't have to worry about nothing else.
And that's where the term comes from, the little term that says, what would Jesus do? Because Jesus came not only to free us from our sins, he also came to show us that it's not about me. It's about me helping you. It's about help guide you to the right path,
and
showing
I gave
you
my life for you.
Yeah, showing that there is a better option than what you have right now, and that's a great freaking thing to do.
Yeah, that's my plan.
Now I'm ashamed of my bucket list.
Yeah, you put our bucket list to shame.
Because your bucket list is probably all about y'all.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're gonna change that. We're gonna have to change that.
All right. Okay. So tell us a little bit about what attracted you to your ex significant other.
It was looks. You know how everybody is. I mean, you're young. It's the looks. It's the looks. It's the savoir faire. It's the swagger. It's all of that. So that's what kind of got me to say, okay.
Yeah.
I see you.
Oh yeah, I see you over there.
And how was his behavior while you guys dated? Was he romantic?
He was romantic, but then he was jealous too. He had a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type personality.
Oh.
1 minute he was fine, laughing, joking, and the next minute it was like Linda Blair from The Exorcist.
Oh wow!
All right, like take us through your first date with this person.
First date, it's crazy. Our first date, I was sick, and I was in one of the I think it was Long's Drugs at the time. I think they changed it to CVS. Anyway, I was sick, and I threw up all over the medicine. And the medicine like NyQuil and stuff like that. And he looked at me and he was like, "It's going to be okay." And I thought anybody else would have, because I would have been like, first date, I would have been like, "Oh, I'm out of here." But I figured that since that happened, that I'll just, I think I like him even better, because I mean, as a woman, you're like, and you all got your vanity and you trying to be pretty and all that stuff, and it's like,
if you like me when I don't look so pretty, then okay, you're a keeper.
Right, and that's what I thought. I'm like, okay, you're a keeper. I like you.
And during that date, was he like attentive? I mean, of course, he looked like he took care of you when you were sick. But did he showed any of those bad or negative, that bad side of him, like a little glimpse of it at all?
Not at all. Not at all. First date was, like I said, it was. I was sick, and he kind of like took care of me. That's basically, right. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So how long did you guys were in this relationship?
I was in this relationship for 4.5 years.
Okay. And when did you start noticing like the red flags?
The red flags was when we were in a grocery store. And you know how they have the gum and the candy and stuff up there? I would reach for it and he would pull me back, like real strong. Like, you know what I mean? Like by my arm, kind of wrist, and he would pull me back. That was one red flag. Another red flag is when other guys would kind of look, you know what I mean? Look at you and stuff. He would be very jealous, like extreme, like overboard jealousy. Like, why did you wear that? And it's like, I'm in the sweats and basketball shorts or t-shirt. You know what I mean? I'm not in like tight jeans or something like that,
And what went through your mind when you kind of noticed these red flags?
At first, I just was like, you know what? He's kind of jealous. You know what I mean? And jealous people, sometimes they're just jealous. They don't know, how to act but be jealous. So I just kind of shrugged it off as being jealous and kept on doing my thing as I thought,
Okay.
And how long into the relationship you get to see that?
Probably like a year into the relationship, it started going downhill because the jealousy started happening, the hanging up the phone and the rants and the cursing out and the mental abuse. It started like within a year.
This happened when you guys at the point when you guys started living together, or this is when you guys were still dating?
This was when we were living together, because after six months, we start living together.
Who wanted to move with whom first? Like who said?
He initiated it. He wanted to move together. He wanted me, but my thing was, at the time, looking back, I think that he just wanted to take me away from my family.
Yeah.
So you guys, did he relocate you to a different state or far away from where your family was?
It was in another town. It was like maybe 30, 40 minutes away from my parents.
Did he like prevent you from seeing your family, talking to your friends, going out? Was there any like control?
Oh yeah. It was control. It was control. It was always what he wanted and never what I wanted. It wasn't a happy situation for me because, I didn't want to bow down to him. You know what I mean? That whole, servant like type and fix me and and I didn't want to do that. I'm a free spirit. I love God. I want to be out. I want to be at church. I want to do things, and it kind of stopped.
At what point do you feel like, okay, it does you don't, okay, you still love him, but you weren't feeling the same way where you felt like you were being yourself? At what point did that change, and why didn't you leave at that point when you noticed that?
Well, it happened actually, I think within 2 years of the relationship. And I didn't leave because I cared about him. I thought I really found my Mr. Wonderful. I thought that we were going to grow old together. I thought that we were going to, accomplish things. And he, on the outside, he didn't look like what he was on the inside, So I stayed because I thought I could change him, like every other woman. They think they can change these men. They think they can. Oh, it's not me, it's him, and that's not what it is. It's actually him.
So when did the first episode happen where he laid hands on you?
Well, the first devastating. Well, let me go lead up to this. It would be little pushes and little insults and mental abuse, and saying that, that at the time I was probably like 210 pounds. And so he would always say that I was fat, that I was ugly, nobody wanted me. Just, going ranting and raving on and just saying horrible, explicit things to me. And it got worse and worse and worse. Then the pushing started. We could be in a store and we could be down an aisle and no one is around, and he would just nudge me or, bump into me really hard, or one of those, or, and so when it first happened, I said, why are you doing? You're playing too much, because you kind of say, wait a minute, I know this isn't happening to me. I know I'm not falling into this abyss of BS. Mm-hmm. I know that this isn't happening to me. From there, he put hands on me a couple of times, but I didn't tell my family. I was very afraid to tell my father, who is now deceased, but my mom, oh my God, I couldn't tell her. I couldn't. I didn't tell friends. I stayed away from them. I didn't go to church. I couldn't. And it just led up from bad to worse. It kept getting worse. And it was nothing that I felt that I could please this person. I couldn't put on the right dress. I couldn't put on the right food. I couldn't do none of that. After a while, I was fearful. I started getting this mechanism of being very fearful for my life, for just my parents, my family. I was just very fearful. And I had a aunt and a cousin who had died from domestic violence. My cousin's boyfriend shot and killed both of them. Yeah, that was at a young age. And I never will forget it. I never will forget it. And from that point on, I was like, I was a kid then, but I said, I'll never be in that type of relationship. I'll never be there. And then all of a sudden, I slipped into a domestic violence relationship. And when I say slip into this, it was the signs weren't there. Mm-hmm. The signs start coming after. after your feelings are catch. You know, us as women, we don't think like men. We go out here and we think with our heart. We think that we can go out here and we can nurture, we can care for, and men, they protect, provide for us, you know?
Yes.
And it led up to a life or death situation.
At what point do you even think at one point, like, I'm in a domestic violence situation? Do you, knowing that, you know, you had that situation where, you know, a family member had died due to domestic violence, did it cross your mind, or do you think, oh, I'm in a situation like that?
You know what? When you are in a situation and how can I put it? It's like somebody took your mind, your body, your spirit, and everything over. Mm-hmm. If you can believe that. Mm-hmm. Because you can start feeling one way and somebody can come and have you feeling another way. And it's same with good things, and it's the same thing with bad things. And this person was a complete monster. And I hate to say that because now I have forgiven him and moved on, and I had to. But he was a complete monster. Complete monster.
How when he saw that you were hurt, or at one point you must have like not talk to him or be upset at him, how would he try to like make it up to you? What would he do?
With the soothing and the let's go out to dinner and let's go to Vegas and let me buy you this and let me get you this and let me get you that. Don't worry about this. I've already paid for it, or he'll give me money, or, you know, things like that. And I would be like, you know what? I was still in the back of my mind, knowing that I wasn't raised like that. You know what I mean? Knowing that I'm a child of God, I would still sit there in the back of my mind and I'll say, this ain't right. And, this is absolutely not right. But I still kept on.
No, and you said something very interesting, which is, to me, the way you put it, it was wonderfully put. For anyone to understand, is the fact that they start through the heart. They make you fall in love with that person, whatever that person was at the beginning. They make you catch those feelings, and then gradually things begin to change, and you don't catch it because you are into your relationship. You're not really focusing on the bad things this person is doing. You're focusing maybe building a future with this person. You're not really focusing on that, and you touch on that very, very beautifully. And that is something that most females that find themselves in that situation need to, be aware of. Is the fact that those little shoves and those little pulls and those little grab is how they start. Well, actually, they start according to an article I read, which is in one of our episodes. They start by verbally abusing you and pushing you down. But that's after their relationship is there. That's after you fall in love with this person. That's when the verbal assault begins, and then it goes to the physical, and then it goes like you said, like he do something wrong, and then he want to make it up with something nice, and that's kind of that's how they eat your soul, if you want to put it like that.
Exactly.
And that's how they put fear into you.
I know exactly. I know you said that you didn't want to tell anyone in your family, but did anyone notice? Did a friend notice? Maybe a coworker, I don't know, someone noticed that you didn't look the same, that you weren't the Tamera that you were before? Anyone noticed or said something to you?
You know what? No, because I hid it. I hid it so well. I even hid it from my own self. I lost myself into someone else. And I mean, I was always outgoing, jolly, happy. Everybody's problem was my problem. I could solve it. I can heal the world. I can create medicine. I can do whatever. But with me, no, I hid it very well. And, people used to ask me, do you have any problems? Is everything okay with you? Because I hid it so well.
So I know it's a little hard. And I don't know if you want to get into it. Like, what was the the situation that made you say, this is it? This is it. I can't do it anymore. I need to leave.
Well, let me tell you this one, and then I'll tell you the last situation. I had cooked one morning breakfast. He wanted steak and eggs. So I had cooked, and I was over at the stove cooking, came over to him at the table, sat down across from him. And he was like, "Where's the hot sauce?" And I said, go get it. It's in the cabinet. I said in my mind, basically, I cooked for you. You can't go get hot sauce and ketchup. That's just me in my mind saying that. So when he went over to get the ketchup and the hot sauce, came back over to the table. And so I said, is it good? Because he was like, you know how when stuff is good, you get the smacking and so he was smacking. And the next thing I know, I look up and he said, "What?" He called me an explicit name, and he said, "I know you're not getting smart with me." So I kind of was like, in my mind, I said, "No, I'm not getting smart with you. I'm having fun with you." He said, "You don't have fun with me, and you don't play with me like that." And so I was like, "Whoa." So I go and bend down, like, not really a bend down because I'm sitting down, but I kind of go like this and I'm eating my food. And as I'm looking at my plate, I look over to my window and it's like a little reflection. And I see I want to say this man because I can't call him his name. I see him and I see this. So I put up my arm. And if you can see my arm right here, can you see that?
So Tamera's is showing us her arm, and she has a scar.
That's where he stabbed me with the steak knife.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And I have this scar, and it is not going away, and it has been here for years. And pulling it out and taking a part of me with it. It basically took a part of me with that knife, because I never had anybody, I've never been in a fight. Like, I've never had anybody violently try to hurt me, because not only am I a child of God and I'm covered with the blood, I just don't get down like that. You know what I mean? I don't go out here and try to hurt people. But when other people do it, and he did it to me, that incident right there broke my spirit. It broke me down, but I still stayed anyway. I stayed there anyway, knowing that this person didn't give a damn about himself, didn't give a damn about me, and will risk his life to hurt me.
I mean, at this point, he already had broken you to where you felt like this. He broke you down.
Yeah.
What went through your mind during that whole scenario?
Not so much in my mind, but just hurt.
Yeah.
Just a devastating hurt. Just like, how can you call yourself loving me, protecting me, and providing for me, but you're hurting me?
What was his reaction? Was it something that he snapped and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that"? Did he try to help you? Like, what went through his mind?
No, he didn't try to help me. He got up from that table, the silverware fell, and he walked off and went to work.
Wow.
Didn't see if I was okay. There. Just left me there.
Wow.
And then that night, when he came back from work, he said, "Look what you made me do to you."
Oh.
No. And that's a typical sentence that, is repeated. "Look what you made me do."
Over and over again.
You got me mad. This is your fault.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's another way they go to keep crushing your soul, so they could have full control of this person, of you, or any person in that situation. And it's good that people need to know that those are the signs, those are the things, and it can't get any clearer than that. He stabbed you on your forearm, and he blamed you for it.
Oh yeah, but it goes on, and for me, us as women, we are the backbone of houses. We are the backbone of our children. We go out here, we work hard, we get paid less than the man. We go out here, we do whatever we can to provide for our families, and we get dogged on, we get spit on. We have laws right now that don't protect the women. You can go out here and God forbid you can get raped. You're not protected because the laws aren't created for us.
That's unfortunate. And you're right. We are, happy that we have females and advocate like yourself. They are standing up and getting, and giving us a voice.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, we appreciate your bravery. We appreciate you coming out and sharing your story. For all those women out there that feel that there's no way out, there is a way out. And also for those ladies out there and men, but mostly ladies, because this is a fact that ladies are affected by this by this disease more than men. To show them that this is a sign. If you see this early on,
don't ignore it.
Yeah, catch it before it becomes worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's crazy because there are so many women that are going through this now with COVID going on.
Yes,
it's just, and it's gonna get worse, and it's gonna get worse. And my thing is that from my situation, leave before it does get worse, before you be laying in a coffin somewhere. Yes. You got to do it for your kids. You got to do it for yourself. You have to have a plan. If that man is going to work, you better make sure that you got suitcases and stuff packed, that you got your kids' stuff packed, because you never know when this person is going to snap.
That is very true. And what was the second story you were going to share with us?
The second story is that we were getting ready to go somewhere. Got up that morning early, probably about 7:00, cleaned up the house a little bit, cooked, my usual. I'm a great cook. Ask my kids, girl, I can throw down. So I cooked and washed up the dishes and everything. And he had an attitude. He had an attitude that whole morning for nothing. I don't know what, just waking up probably was an attitude for him. When I get up, I say, thank you, God, for giving me another day. And I keep on pushing. But some people don't feel like that. They harbor things in their heart and they're tarnished. For what reason, who knows? But anyway, back to my story. Woke up that morning, like I said, did all the errands and all that stuff, and had an attitude. So I was like, I want to go to Target. I thought I was going to Target, honey, going to do a little shopping. No, that did not happen, because he said, no, I'm taking you to Target.
Oh.
I was like, usually I go by myself. I don't have to go with anybody, right?
Yes.
So we go out the door and he pushes me. So I had the keys. So I turned to lock the door. And then he snatches the keys out of my hand with such force to where I was like, I looked at my hand. I'm like, damn, is it broke? You know what I mean? I didn't say anything to him. We walk onto the carport. And so he opens the door for me. And so I was like saying in my mind, that's kind of odd, because usually he don't open the door for me. So he said, I opened the door for you, get in. So he pushes me into the car. So when he pushes me into the car, I'm like, whoa, because you know how the seat is, the front seat. I'm like, whoa, because I'm kind of discombobulated at the time. So I get out. He's over on the driver's side. He comes back around the car and says, what the F did you get out for? And I said, never mind. I don't want to go to Target. He said, no, you going to Target. So the next thing I know, I'm at the car door, but I'm going this way to get from him. And he grabbed me by my wrist. And when he grabbed me by my wrist, I tried to fight back. And then when he grabbed me by my wrist, only thing I know is I tried to hit him, and I was punching, and he was punching and punching too. I mean, to the point where when my dad seen me, my dad broke down in tears.
Oh my!
That when the ambulance, because I was screaming my head, and this is how I know that people do not care. When it's a domestic violence situation, you screaming for your heart. You screaming to the top of the world. People were walking around me. People were walking on the side, and I'm screaming, help, help, help. And nobody came to help me. I get emotional about it because I see it. That's my past. You know what I mean? Yes. My future is so bright, but I still to this day. So after he had punched me and all that, and we were fighting and tussling, I didn't get no punches in because he was doing all of them. I fell to the ground. And do you know that this man kicked me? He kicked me so hard to where I was throwing up blood. I grabbed a hold to the car, the tire, to try to lever myself up, and I couldn't. I couldn't lever myself up. I stayed there. And this man was walking by, and he said, I'm going to call 911 for you, ma'am. And I told him, I said, after you call 911, can you please take this number and call my dad, call my parents, and let them know what's going on. I said, if my father was here today, the man would be in jail. Because the way he left me laying there, I don't know how, but by the grace of God, he saved me. And I promise God that if you save me, that I would help people. I would help women who are going through the situation, that they're not alone, that somebody is there to help you. Reach out to folks. Tell people what's going on, because if you don't, you might not be here. You may be dead. And when I got to the emergency, when they put me through the emergency, I never will forget the people's look on their face, because they were like I was some kind of, I don't know, like some kind of creature.
People are
like some kind of creature, but my dad was here and my mom came.
Your dad got to you when you were in the hospital, or he got to you at your house?
Yeah, when I was in the hospital, my dad got to me. Because he told when.
What did he tell you?
My dad?
Yeah, your dad.
Oh, that he's gonna kill him.
Oh wow.
And
yeah, he was like, I'm gonna kill him, because my father and my mom was nice to this person.
And where the hell was this person when that happened? Like, he just took off. He went back to the house. What kind of?
He took off. He went back to the house, and the police arrested him.
So he went in like nonchalant, like nothing happened. What kind of monster was that?
Like nothing. And the only thing that really, really saved me, especially when we went to court, is that they had found his shirt and it had all this blood and stuff on it. Because he was too callous to change his clothes or do whatever he needed to do. But they found it and they had booked it into evidence.
What do you mean the only thing that saved it? Like, your word was not good enough?
For the cops.
For the cops.
Well, let me tell you. Well, in situations like that, like nowadays, they want to ask you, well, what did you do? You provoked him. I had to call the police out a couple times. Wow. And they told me that, maybe you provoked him. Maybe he had a bad day at work. Nobody is provoking anybody to put hands on folks.
No.
It just, you don't do that.
How are we training our officers? That's not a way. What the hell is that?
Well, what I think that needs to be done is that social workers need to go out with the officers. They have to. It has to be somebody. It has to be somebody who knows the patterns. They have to. If you get, like I said, I called more than 10 times, and when you call, it's like that should be a log of saying, okay, wait a minute. They called one time and we went out there. The second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Okay, this is a domestic violence situation. These people need to separate. They need to have some type of social worker. They need somebody out there to relate to the victim.
Yeah, it should be marked automatically like this.
Exactly.
It's a red flag. Something's going on in that household.
But our systems aren't work like that. And we have to change them. We have to, in order for women to not be scared. You know what I mean? Because like I said, everybody doesn't have a family. Everybody doesn't have best friends.
That's
People
true.
don't have a support system. So when you are caught up in a situation that takes you from loving and living life to damn near wanting to kill yourself, you know what I mean? It has to be something that has to be done. It has to. Laws need to change.
And I just Googled it. I was looking into it. And how is it that 10 million men and women that find themselves in this situation are not, let me take that back. How is it that our officers are not trained to handle this type of situation in a professional manner or have a social worker on hand in case something like this happens when 10 million cases is reported every year? Report it. I want to emphasize on report it because there is a lot more that they don't report because they feel that there is no help. They call the cops and they're going to blame the victim. What kind of crap is that?
Yeah, it's really sad, and you know what? That's why I'm working. I'm working since it's COVID, and I can't really get out and do what I usually do. I am working tirelessly to try to help. I've reached out to Karen Bass. I'm just reaching out to different folks to try to get this thing done. Right now, it's election time and all that stuff. So it's like, you know, when that's over, I'm going full fledged because January, we have to get this bill passed. We have to.
Yeah, and it's much harder now that a lot of people are working from home. You know, working from home and you're home 24 hours. You don't get a break because if you go to work, you at least, you know, you get that break to go to work. You know, so you spend those 8 hours there. Same thing with kids.
Yeah. It's really bad. And it's so sad because like I say, I almost died. And
you were one of the lucky ones.
Oh yeah, honey, I was one of the blessed ones. That's where Imablesedbabe came from. That's where that came from. And like I said, I'm on a mission. I'm on the fight. I go out and I motivational speak for people. I go out there and I handle my business. But one thing that I did want to tell you is that even though this person almost killed me, he was able to get out of jail. We went to court and everything. He did maybe like a year and a half, good behavior, never had a traffic ticket.
Wow.
And after that, this man made my life a living hell. I thought I was in hell when I stayed, but he made it a living hell. Those, what do you call it? The police officers, if that's what you want to call it, they're not there to protect and provide for you, because I had restraining order after restraining order. This man came to my job, stood up there and started looking around, and my boss was like, "Can I help?" Because it was eerie to everybody. Everybody was like, "What in the hell is going on?" But I didn't tell nobody. But then I had to tell my boss, this man has he has to go. And she was like, "What do you mean?" And I didn't want to tell her, but I had to.
Yes.
I had to tell. I said, "I'm a domestic violence survivor. I have a restraining order." This man that came to the job, and he was allowed to do that. The law didn't protect me. The law didn't protect me at all. From there, he would take, and I had a restraining order, remember. He took and put all my tires on flat.
Oh, boy.
Took a paintball gun, sprayed my car all up. Took a dead cat on New Year's Eve. New Year's Day, I came out. It was all smeared on the top of my window. And these laws don't protect you.
See, and that's true. And you know what's the most messed up part of all this is that if one of those days you would have reacted to it, you would have hurt him or snap and hurt this person badly, you would have been in worse trouble than he was when he was abusing you.
You would have gotten life. You would have gotten life for defending yourself or just being fed up of being harassed.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what happens with a lot of women, that they don't tell. It's so many stories women don't tell. And the next thing they know, they're executives, they're lawyers, they're doctors, and it happens. And they snap and they're in jail for life.
Yeah. That's sad.
And we thank you for the work that you're doing. We definitely thank you, and thank you for being the voice for all those women that don't have one right now. Thank you for sharing your story, for letting them know that there is a way out. And we support everything you do. It is something that needs to be done. And we are originally from New York City. And I'm pretty sure that in any big city like, California, Los Angeles, San Diego, and many other big cities in California, and the same thing in every other states and those big cities, a lot of this is happening.
Oh, of course.
And the fact that you're taking upon yourself to make these changes is just heroic. It is something to be super proud of.
Yeah, well, you know what? I do it because I've been there. I know what it's like. Let me tell you this really quick. I seen in my neighborhood this lady, and I seen these guys, and I seen this dude slap this woman. I got out of my car. I called the police, but I got out of my car and I said, "You leave her alone." I mean, they would beat. I mean, men just beating this woman up for no reason. And I'm like, wait a minute. And I said, Lord, I looked at the situation. I'm like, I could have been killed myself, but I wanted to protect that woman. I wanted to let her know that, look, I don't know what's going on with this situation, but they're not going to beat you. Number one. And I called the police, and she was all jacked up. And because you could hear it in my car, I could hear them slapping her with windows up, air conditioner on. I could hear them slapping her. And I said, like I said, I made a vow to God that I'm going to help. I'm going to do everything in my power to help people because I've been there. I know what it's like.
And that's something that a lot of people fail to understand, that they may know people that are going to that situation. They give up on them because they're going back, they're not gonna leave. But it's not like they want to. They really want to leave. They don't want to be there, but they don't know how to. They are so broken emotionally, mentally, that they don't know how to. And
let me tell you, it took me 2 years. 2 years to really work on myself. I mean, therapy. I mean, from taking kids to school. I mean, I really, it took me 2 years to work on myself. And I said, that person that was dealing with all that drama and all of that abuse, she's dead. You basically have to take your mind and kill that person off to create a new. You got to get reborn again. You have to work on yourself. You have to take that psyche out of your head about the victim, because I'm not a victim. I live in victory. Yeah. I'm a victor.
Yes, I agree.
I took that person and I basically took her to the side.
Yeah. And the longer that, you are in an abusive relationship, the longer it's going to take you to, to find yourself again. But you can find yourself again.
Yeah, you can.
Don't worry about the dog. It's all right.
I just threw something at her.
No, it's all good. And another thing that I like to another thing I want to ask is, how did everything stop after he went to prison and he came back out? He was doing all those things. He was harassing you.
Yeah. When did it finally stop?
Yeah. When did it finally stopped?
You know what? One day it just did. I was praying to God and I was asking God. I said, Lord, I'm your child. I said, you saved me. I said, that's your child too. But I was doing some heavy praying. I'm talking about fasting 7 days a week, praying. I would close my eyes and I would see God. I would pray and I would ask, can he please leave me alone? Give me the peace that I once had. And one day, out of nowhere, he just stopped. Just stopped. And I was so thankful. I was like, because let me tell you, it stopped, but it was like a week, 2 weeks, a month. Then after that, it was just, I mean, years.
And then the thing is that I'm pretty sure that the first couple of weeks you were still looking over your shoulder because you didn't know what was really happening. Like,
oh, yeah. To this day, I can't have anybody stand behind me. When somebody gets behind me, especially a dude, I will freak out. It's just something that it will never leave me. But I can't have people standing behind me. It just freaks me out.
No, I mean, and understandably so.
So it was a traumatic situation. The trauma will still be there, and it probably will never go away. But at least you're not living it anymore. You know.
Oh no! I'm a whole different person. I think that sometimes situations you can, like I tell women who are going through it, you learn from that. That's your lesson, and that's your testimony. That's the past for you. You have to open up a new path for yourself. Whatever it is you want to do, sky is the limit. You can do it.
It's never too late. It's never too late to start over.
It's never too late. I don't care if a woman is 65 years old and she's been getting her butt kicked for 25 years. You have to leave. You have to make a plan for yourself. You can't live in that squalor and die. It's like being in mud. It's like being in mud and your whole body is covered. Either you're going to die or you're going to fight that mud and keep on fighting it till your hand go up to where somebody says, that's somebody's hand, and go and save you.
Yeah.
You have to want it for yourself.
And that's another thing. In a lot of culture, female are taught that, you stay, no matter what, you stay by your husband's side, you forgive everything. And, you just stay and, you make it work. And that's not true. That's not true. If you're not happy and you're being abused and there's domestic violence, no, you need to leave.
Yeah, you need to speak up not only for yourself. People stay for kids. And I'm like, why are you saying in this situation for your kids? But I know because I was there. I know how it is. I've lived it. I've been there. And your kids are looking at you and you're like, well, that's dad. You don't want to leave dad, but you have to leave dad.
Yeah. Yeah. And the good Miss Elaine touching on that. We need to, we are educating our youth to be different. That's actually on us to educate them to be different, to understand that that's not acceptable anymore. We live in different times. We live in a different era. And this should have been happening a long time ago. This education should have been the educating our females and our males and how to treat each other and understand that we are individuals and we are powerful on our own way
and deserve respect
but we're not doing that.
But
we weren't doing that. Now we're starting to do it, but we're not doing it fast enough, and we're not spreading it as fast as we should.
Right. But you know what was crazy to me? They have these sex education classes at school. Why can't they implement this in their curriculum?
I agree.
Do not touch? You can teach that in kindergarten. Don't touch her. Because, it's crazy because it's a top behavior sometimes because not a top behavior, but it's just a behavior to where little boys, just listen at me real quick. Little boys in kindergarten will start messing with the little girl. Keep your hands off of such and such. And he goes back. It should be taught in kindergarten. Keep your hands to yourself, Matthew. Don't touch Katie. You know what I mean? And then it should be in a curriculum in schools to where, the signs for because teenage girls go through it too.
Oh, that's
teenage girls go through domestic violence situations too.
Definitely.
And it should be in their curriculum in school, and it should start, like I said, by changing the laws. We have to change these laws, and we have to get these lawmakers to put it in a bill, which will be in my bill, to go to the schools and talk to the young adults in high school, especially in high school, because all of the pressure, kids don't even talk in high school. They go home and get on Facebook and start bullying and talking, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So it should be something to where they can identify, they'll know what to do, they'll know who to call. It should be resources. It should be, because a great organization out in California, I have, girl, California's so big, I have resources I have it in Orange County. I have resources in Pomona. I have resources in LA, Sacramento, the state, you know what I mean? So it's resources out there for women too, especially in California. If you need something, these people can definitely help you.
That nowadays we need to be proactive, not only as being a victim, but also those bystanders. They need to understand that when they see something like that, all right, you might be fearful to jump in, call the cops. There's all the things you could do. Just make sure that person sees that you are there, that you are also acting on their behalf, because they're feeling powerless at that particular time. And also educate our kids, educate our youth that this is unacceptable. This shouldn't be happening. And on to what you were saying on kids, normally, and I've seen this firsthand, when you see a little boy bothering a little girl, what they do, they just take the little girl and move it somewhere else. And tell the boy, stop it. What are you telling them? You're not teaching them anything.
You're letting them know that it's okay.
You're just suppressing that little girl. Yeah, I'm sorry. They're just suppressing that little girl's emotion and say, you stay over there and don't bother him. And then tell them to stop. No.
Yeah.
All right. We're coming at the bottom of the hour right now. And Miss Elaine, do you have any last questions?
So if someone in California wants to come out and, help out, or want to, join you in this, I lost my train of thought. in
crusade,
in your crusade of awakening and awareness, how can they get in touch with you, or, how can they support you?
They can get in touch with me on my Instagram at Imablesedbabe, IMBLESSED, babe @gmail.com, or they can contact me on my Instagram at Imablesedbabe.
Right. Do you have any resources at hand that you want to share?
Yes. I got resources. If you are in the Pomona or Inland Empire area, you can contact the House of Ruth. They can help you. They are a great organization. If you are in Orange County, Laura's House, they can help you. They are an awesome organization. If you are towards LA area, Shelters Right Hand, they can help you. And also, if you are in LA, the Downtown LA Women's Shelter, they can help you. And then Holly Berry has the Jenese House. They can help you. She's a domestic violence. She has a lot of stuff going on. But like I said, with COVID, things have slowed up, and it's hard because, we're helping, but we're trying to, how can I say, make our resources last, because people are really, really in need. But those are some great organizations. And my number one is California Partnership to End Domestic Violence. They are a great resource center. It is California Partnership to End Domestic Violence.
Thank you so much for sharing those resources. Are very helpful.
Yeah, and to all our listeners, support this cause. Help, donate, share. And if you are a victim, look for help. Search. There is help out there. And don't ever feel that you're alone. Look, we have our friend Tamera here, who's able to thrive and be better and do better and help everybody in that, others, that has been in that situation before. So I encourage all our listeners to do the same. Help each other. You see someone in need, help them. Donate. Reach, even say something. If you see someone going through it and you have a chance to speak to this person face to face, say it. Like, hey, you could do something about it. Here's a number. Here's a website. Yes. Help them out.
Yeah. And even if you feel like you can't do much, or just give them the information. Here, call this number. They might be able to help you.
And sometimes go ahead. And a smile and a kind word, because you don't know what people are going through. Just because they have a smile on their face don't mean that their heart is not tarnished.
Yes, and some people tend to be so mean, like, oh, what's wrong with you? You look so tired, or discombobulated. No one wants to hear that. Keep those opinions.
Or you look a hot mess. You look a hot mess, and it's like, do you know what I did last night? I had to fight off this man, and you talking about I look like a hot mess? I literally had to do a David and Goliath, and I look like a hot mess? No, I don't look like no hot mess. This is survival mode for me.
Exactly.
Tamera, any last words you want to share with our listeners?
I want to tell all the domestic violence survivors that it's just not October. For me, it's 12 months out of the year, 365 days. If I can be a survivor of domestic violence, make it, be positive, be inspiring to women, uplift women and children, you can do it too. This is a fight that women are being treated less than. I mean, I really see how the laws and things are for women in these situations. And we're at the bottom of the barrel, and it shouldn't be like that, because we're the backbone of the families.
Yes.
Well, definitely. That has to change. Tamera, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you guys. Time. It was a privilege. It was an honor. I thank you so much for using your platform to educate people, to let people know what's going on. And like I say, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. God bless both of you guys, because I mean, your show is amazing. I think it's awesome that you're going and reaching out to people. It's just everything to a survivor, because our message is, especially my message, is to get it out to everybody. I'm not shy about being a survivor. If I didn't tell my story, I can't help people. It's just bottled up. So I really want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. We got to save not only souls, we got to save lives. We got to save mothers, children, everybody.
And just a little bit backstory. What they say, the devil tried to stop us today from you sharing your story, but we didn't allow him.
There was some forces at work, but it didn't work for them. It's working for us to get the story out.
Yes, most definitely. And like I said, I appreciate you guys. I think that you are awesome, and we have to do more of this. Don't stop here. People who are giving and doing stuff. It's Christmas time. It's getting cold. Kids need coats. They need, books. They need toys. They need food. I mean, we have to get together, and we have to make things happen.
That is right. And that's why I encourage every listener to do that. Just go, search for your near shelter and help out.
You know what? That's where it started for me. It started at one of my local shelters. I just helped out, and I said, you know what? I want to do more, because I had a 5K walk. I had a 5K walk last year and the year before. And it's like, you can't, how you going to have a walk? You're going to social distance walking, but it's like, I want to make sure that women and children are being taken care of. For the month of November, it's not over for me with domestic violence. We're going to take women, and we are going to do a full makeover. We're going to do their hair. We're just going to give them the works for all of the survivors and people who can't. We're going to pick, not everybody, but we're going to pick a few women, and we're going to let them get their hair and stuff done. So if you're in the California area, if you are in the Inland Empire, hit me up on Instagram and let me know if you know somebody deserving, and then we'll pick somebody and we'll get their hair done, and we will take care of all of their needs.
Oh, that is a great thing.
Amazing.
We're going to have the description. In the description, we're going to have the links and her handle. So get in touch. Let's do this. Let's bring that self-esteem back up.
Yes.
we got to bring the self-esteem up, because I'm telling you, beauty is vain. Women love it.
Yes.
And it helps them, and it helps their self-esteem, and it helps them get back to their old self and looking good and feeling good. Because when you look good, You help people. You bring out that extra roar in that woman. So that's what I'm going to do for November.
Amen. Tamera, thanks again. And keep us updated with everything you do, everything that's going on. We will be happy to show it on a platform and let our listeners know that this is what's happening and things are moving forward the right way. Yes. So just keep it posted, and we will keep on spreading the good word out there.
Oh, yeah. I thank you so much, and I will keep it posted. And you guys, like I said, you are amazing. You guys are so amazing.
Thank you.
All right, listeners. So don't forget to follow our friend Tamera. We're going to have all the resources, links, and her handle for Instagram in the description of our show, including her email. And have a good night, everybody. Have a good one.
Good night. It
was a great show. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Good night.
All righty.